Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Phi and this is Money Philosophy. Thank you for coming back for another day of Tesla analysis. Today we will take a look at Tesla technical analysis to see whether or not it has an opportunity to spike next week and what to do regarding trading and holding a call option potentially over the weekend. And that is the reason why I am making this video during the trading day. Hopefully I will be able to edit and post before the trading ends today. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I am a growth stock investor and a trader, and I'd love to share with you my investing and trading journeys. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So here's the daily chart for Tesla. At the time of this recording, it is almost 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We still have 2 more hours to go until the end of the trading day. The volume right now is about 56%, slightly below average for 11 a.m. right now. It signals another consolidation day. And so a couple of days ago, I drew this bull flag, the green lines here, and it seems to be materializing with the last 2 days being consolidation. Today, with the volume being slightly below average and the price action was just right around $1,000 mark, it seems to be another consolidation day. So with yesterday and today, I think Tesla has done a good job consolidating as I had expected. I had hoped that it would move down below 986 and get to about 950 to create an entry point for call options or for purchasing shares, but it has not so far. We still have 2 more hours to go, so there's no guarantee that it will stay at this level. I would be very happy to see it falls down a little further to create an entry point before it could potentially tip back up next week. Let's take a look at the overall market here. I see that the NASDAQ is slightly red. The volume is huge, 229%. The Dow Jones is about 45% in volume, even though it's slightly green. So Dow Jones is also consolidating. The NASDAQ has a little bit of volume, but is also just pretty much consolidating. If you take a look at chart here on the NASDAQ, it is also a consolidation day for the NASDAQ. So over the last few days, it seems to be consolidating on the upward trajectory here. It is well above 50 days SMA, which is very important. Similarly, let's take a look at the QQQ. So the QQQ here, also similar story. It is above 50 days SMA right now, and 50 days SMA, which is the white line here or the white dotted line here, is around $346. It is trading at $356, so it is definitely above 50 days SMA. However, I'd like to see the QQQ get to above 368 to be solid, because we did see a death cross created in early March, and so as a result the NASDAQ has been moving down stiffly, and it has been bouncing pretty strongly after the double bottom at right around 318. So far momentum has been strong, but I'd like to see the NASDAQ resume to above 200 days SMA at 368 to be a little bit more solid. Quickly running to the S&P 500 in the SPY ETF here. SPY is actually above both 50 days SMA and 200 days SMA. 50 days SMA is 440 and 200 is 446, and it is now at 451. If the S&P 500 or SPY ends the day right around here, I think there's a good opportunity for it to be bullish continuation into next week, and it could potentially get to about 460 or so into next week. So this is a very good chart pattern. It is essentially a double bottom right at around $417. So I also have hope that we have a temporary bullish run in the market between the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at Amazon just to kind of see how it is, which is another technology sector stock, you can see here, Amazon is also consolidating over the last 3 days. So this is also a bull flag for Amazon with a consolidation here right above or right at 50 weeks SMA, not 50 days SMA. This is a yearly average for Amazon. So that is also really good. Now, if we close right around this area, that is amazing for Amazon, and I expect Amazon to continue running next week. But Amazon could easily tip down toward the end of the day, and so depending on where it ends, we don't know. If Amazon runs to above 200 days SMA, which is 33.29, all the better for Amazon next week. As a matter of fact, if Amazon ends right at 33.29 or slightly above that, that would signal an initial run after 2 days of consolidation. And so that could potentially mean that next week, starting with Monday, it could run even higher. So those are a few of the survey on other stocks and ETF outside of Tesla. Let's go back to Tesla here. Once again, I'm recording this 2 hours before the market closes, so anything can happen in the next 2 hours, but I want to prepare you for the various scenarios that may happen toward the end of the day here. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. So on the hourly chart, it is another evidence of consolidation. It is consolidation in the middle pivot point here at around $1,009. And so it has not been making major move one way or another. The upper pivot point for today would have been 1045. That would have sent it back up to the upper end of the bull flag, but it has not gotten there. If it does get back there for whatever reason by the end of the day, then next week the run would be very imminent. If Tesla does not get back there today, the bullish case is still intact in my mind, as long as it doesn't fall outside of 941. So let's take a look at trading opportunities here. Once again, you've seen consolidation over the last 2 days. I'd like to see Tesla ends right around this purple pivot point, which is $1,010, give or take. From a trading standpoint, if you look to trade the potentially imminent run leading into Q1 delivery results, I'd be looking at April 1st, which expires next Friday. Given the potential delivery news, I'd like to capitalize on the potential run next week, even though I'm pretty positive that Tesla won't be announcing delivery result Friday morning. In my experience, the vast majority of the time on the day of delivery announcement, regardless of good news or bad news, Tesla would sell the news. The exception was last quarter, nonetheless, where it went up big time because that signals the end of the year delivery result, and the result was outstanding, almost 100% increase from the year before, right? And so that was really optimistic, but the day after, Tesla started to sell off as well. So Tesla would sell off with or without good news. Whether or not it sell off on the day of or the day after depends on facts and circumstances and buyers and sellers. But in my mind, if we were to buy a call option capturing the run leading up to Q1 delivery result, an expiration of April 1st is good. If you are not comfortable with 1 week expiration, you can aim for April 8th or April 15th with the intention to close the trade in the next imminent run and not hold it through Q1 delivery result. So that's my standpoint on this. So right now, Tesla, because it consolidate, premium is less crazy than when it was running up due to the lack of volatility. So if you look at 1050 as a strike price right now, it is about $1,500, which is not a bad bet for 1 week out, potentially on the week that has bullish run leading into delivery result. If you look at 1030, it is slightly more expensive, not too outrageous, about $2,150. Now, obviously, it is extremely expensive if there's no pending run, right? So we pay for this premium with the expectation that Tesla would be running, and from 1,010 to 1,030 would be a very quick run for Tesla. And so give or take $2,100 in premium would not be the end of the world. I usually don't go deep in the money as an option play because I do believe that the return could be higher if we play a little bit out of the money and allow for the stock to run into that strike price. So I would usually look for a little bit out of the money here. I wouldn't go above 1100 in my mind. Right now, 1100 is around 650. It's a decent risk versus reward ratio, and Tesla could run $100 easily in a week, but I'm also skeptical because if you get 1100 strike price and Monday goes by and Tuesday goes by and Tesla continues to consolidate, this premium would become $200-300 or less, and that could be very discouraging. So I would go closer to the money. I think a good option would be 1050, 1040, or 1030. And if Tesla moved down to below 1,000, I think that would be a good entry point below 984. I would definitely go a little heavier, and below 950, but not below 941, I'd go very heavy on call option next week. If Tesla falls below 940, which is the bottom end of the bull flag here, 941, I would not enter a call option and I would wait for next week. We have a very long drop to get there, so I'm not overly concerned about 940, but I think Tesla could easily get to about 980 to 990, and if it does, that would be a good entry point for call option for next week. Let's take a look at a little bit further out. Let's say May 6th. May 6th would cover delivery result and earnings result for Q1 of 2022. I don't necessarily recommend holding until then because the period between quarterly delivery result to earnings release, Tesla usually just goes sideways or going down. So I'm not a big fan of holding call option through that time. If anything, there might be an opportunity to re-enter that call option leading into Q1 financial release. But for right now, I still want to look at a few weeks out for folks that are not too comfortable with short-term options like 1 to 2 weeks expiration. So at $1,050, the price is about $6,200, the midpoint here. $6,200 for a little bit over a month in expiration, with a very realistic possibility that Tesla could hit 1050 with good delivery news. I think that is a decent bet. In my personal opinion, for anything that is $6,000 in premium like this, and I only have about a month and a week, I get a little nervous. So it's not good enough of an odd for me to play for May 6th. If I have to spend money, I'd rather go a lot further out. So say October of 2022, and I'd go for something along the line of 1250 or 1300 for between 9,000 to 11,000 in premium there. Once again, it's really hard to predict what Tesla could do based on the bull flag. I'm predicting that Tesla could get to, in the short term, 1155 as the first price target of this bull flag, and 1287 as the second price target of this bull flag, and potentially bypassing 1243, which was the recent all-time high. So that is the technical analysis here, but a lot has to do with the buyers and sellers momentum out there and whether or not Tesla is expected to deliver a crazy number for Q1 2022. There is not a no-brainer in my mind, even though Austin is up and running, Berlin is up and running. The contribution of these two new gigafactories is very minimal. The vast majority of the deliveries will still have to depend on Shanghai and Fremont. So in that sense, I think Tesla has great potential to surpass Q4 of 2021 given demand, but it's not going to be a crazy high number enough to justify a complete bullish run after delivery news. I do think people expect good results, and so people will still buy Tesla leading into earnings, hence the potential bullish run next week, but I would be skeptical whether or not that number is a crazy number compared to Q4, right? I do think on the other hand, that Q2 of 2022 will represent a very good number, and we're going to go up from there because of the ramp in Giga Berlin and Giga Austin. So let's strategize for call option to swing into next week. Once again, I am also a shareholder in Tesla, and I do not want to sell any Tesla shares anytime soon. So this analysis is very short term. If you are a long-term shareholders, look at this as entertainment. You shouldn't be doing anything drastically with your portfolio. If you are a short-term trader, there might be a potential opportunity. And if today is consolidation day, as we have seen, volatility might be in your favor in terms of premium depression. So entering a call option toward the end of the day to hold into next week, and next week arguably could have more volatility. You could capture the gain a lot easier that way. So I'm looking at a 30-minute chart. Once again, this chart doesn't represent anything aside from consolidation. The pivot point from Monday, which is right now still moving target, but upper end 1034, 1010 in the middle pivot point, and the bottom is 996. The reason Monday is pretty muted because the last 2 days, the price action is also pretty muted. Once Tesla start to run, these pivot points don't really matter, right? So we use that as a guiding principle, but not as the Bible. If we miss an entry point, or if we don't want to enter a call option today, Friday, March the 25th, we could also wait until Monday, right? If Tesla does not gap up on Monday and it also goes sideways for the first half of the day, that is also a good opportunity to enter. Again, the expectation is that Tesla will have an imminent run, but we don't know if that's going to happen Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or after. All we know is that we're going to capitalize on premium on the day that it has either less volatility or having a retracement. And today, in my mind, is consolidation day, which is less volatility. So by the end of the day, if Tesla is around $1,000, give or take about $10, I would likely enter a call option to hold into next week. If it falls below $1,000 to $993, I would also seriously consider a call option. And if you're conservative, anything below $990 would be a good idea to enter call option as well. If you are not sure whether Tesla will run, and if you have less money to play with, I would hold off until Monday to enter that call option. The risk with entering the call option on Monday or waiting until Monday is that you might miss a gap up on Monday. We don't know if it's going to happen, right? If it does not have a gap up, that's a fantastic opportunity to enter call option on Monday instead of Friday. So look at your risk tolerance, play with the probability. In my mind, Tesla could potentially gap up on Monday depending on futures and the macroeconomics environment. I would probably enter one today and potentially enter another one next week. I think my expiration would be around April 1st or April 8th, depending on premium value by the time I'm ready to enter. So that is my thought process. And if I do enter that call option, and if I do catch a run in Tesla, my first price target would be 1105 and then 1155, and that's probably what I'm aiming for in the short term right now. I am not yet planning for anything beyond 1155 at the moment, and I'm sure we'll talk again before it gets there. So overall, across the board in the technology sector, we are pulling a bull flag, but we are still consolidating for the last couple of days, and hopefully we will have a breakout sometime next week. So particularly Amazon and Tesla seems to have a very good bull flag here together with the QQQ as well as the S&P 500. And so I hope you find the information helpful. Comment down below if you have any question or concern or any constructive feedback. And until the next video, bye.